Jesse Tree, Day 12. Our readings today come from the book of Ruth, chapter 1, verses 6 through 9, and verse 15, and chapter 2, verses 1 through 13. Today's readings are all about Ruth and how Ruth left her family to follow God and lived with his people. Ruth, chapter 1, verses 6 through 9. Naomi goes home. While Naomi was in the country of Moab, she heard that the Lord had helped his people. He had given food to his people in Judah. So Naomi decided to leave the hill country of Moab and go back. Her daughters-in-law also decided to go with her. They left the place where they had been living and started walking back to the land of Judah. Then Naomi told her daughters-in-law, "Each of you should go back home to your mother. You have been very kind to me and my sons who are now dead. So I pray that the Lord will be just as kind to you. I pray that the Lord will help each of you find a husband and a good home." Naomi kissed her daughters-in-law, and they all started crying. Verse 15. Naomi said, "Look, your sister-in-law has gone back to her own people and her own gods. You should do the same." We continue in chapter 2. Ruth meets Boaz. There was a rich man named Boaz living in Bethlehem. Boaz was one of Naomi's close relatives from Elimelech's family. One day, Ruth, the Moabite, said to Naomi, "I think I will go to the fields. Maybe I can find someone who will be kind to me and let me gather the grain they leave in their field." Naomi said, "Fine, daughter, go ahead." So Ruth went to the fields. She followed the workers who were cutting the grain and gathered the grain that was left. It happened to be that part of the field that belonged to Boaz, the man from Elimelech's family. Later, Boaz came to the field from Bethlehem and greeted his workers. He said, "Lord be with you." And the workers answered, "And may the Lord bless you." Then Boaz spoke to his servant who was in charge of the workers. He asked, "Whose girl is that?" The servant answered, "She is a Moabite woman who came with Naomi from the country of Moab. She came early this morning and asked me if she could follow the workers and gather the grain that was left on the ground. She rested only a short time in that shelter." Then Boaz said to Ruth, "Listen, child, stay here in my field to gather grain for yourself. There's no need for you to go to any other field. Continue following behind my women workers. Watch to see which fields they go in to cut the grain and follow them. I have warned the young men not to bother you. When you are thirsty, go and drink from the water jug my men drink from." Then Ruth bowed very low to the ground. She said to Boaz, "I am a foreigner, so I'm surprised you even noticed me." Boaz answered her, "I know about all the help you have given to your mother-in-law Naomi. I know you helped her even after your husband died, and I know that you left your father and mother in your own country and came here to this country. You did not know anyone from this country, but you came here with Naomi. The Lord will reward you for all the good things you have done. The Lord, the God of Israel, will pay you in full. You have come to him for safety, and he will protect you." Then Ruth said, "I hope I can continue to please you, sir. You are very kind. I am only a servant and not even one of your own servants, but you have said kind words to me and comforted me." Ruth ended up marrying Boaz and became the great-grandmother of King David. Jesus was born through this family. Ruth was not an Israelite, but she loved God and she told many other people about him. Jesus preached the gospel to all people, not just the Israelites. Ruth reminds us that Jesus came to save all people. Have you ever felt different or alone? How did that make you feel? Jesus loves everyone, and he is always with us. And he wants us to share that good news with everyone. Your challenge for today is to create a note that says Jesus loves you and put it somewhere that a stranger might find it. For example, in a grocery store, maybe stick it to a loaf of bread or inside a Redbox DVD. Or maybe even go to the park and put it on a slide or a swing. Think of someplace unusual. Take a picture and show me where you hid it.